Good morning. I'm back at the Holiday Inn Lake in Filton. Can't get enough of this place at the moment. Yeah, I had two fantastic sessions last week. One on the Monday in the absolutely teeming down rain, and then one on Friday in the sunshine, which was, you know, both sessions were really good. I had a fantastic time. But yeah, I've turned up here and I've gone for the same swim, same tactics. And unfortunately, so far, I've lost 2 runs on the helicopter and I've barely had a knock or a tap on the feeder. I've got a feeling I just haven't found the shoal. I don't think the fish are down this end right now. It's been a foul weekend. It's basically rained solidly from Saturday morning till Sunday night. And yeah, I was planning on going to the river today, but the graph on the flood site basically does this and then does that right at the end, and it's right up towards flood. So I thought it's pointless going piking today, much as I'd love to. It's semi-pointless. So yeah, chase down some carp instead. But yeah, as I say, nothing's happened, and I've probably spent about an hour in this swim. So when I first walked down, I noticed some fish further up towards the lily pads, up that end. So I'm going to give it another 10 minutes, and if I haven't had a knock or a tap, I'm going to bait these 2 areas and move on to them later this afternoon. Possibly head up there for the morning, see what's what. Yeah, as ever, it's lovely to be back on the bank. It's set to be actually a quite nice day today, so you never know. Once the sun hits the water, hopefully it will warm things up and that will kickstart a bit of a feeding spell. Yeah, for the moment I'm going to sort out some more bait, watch that rod tip. Fingers crossed, we'll get a fish. Always the way, isn't it? The moment you say you're going to move, you get a run. I don't know if this little fella's enough to make me want to stay in this area, but the sun's just come up actually, and I can already feel that it's got a little bit warmer. So you never know, maybe it is worth sticking in this spot. I've just wandered up the bank now and baited the other swim that I'm thinking about. So yeah, in the meantime, got the rod back out, slip this fella back. Yeah, maybe I'll give it another 10 minutes and then I'll move. Well, I've given it a good half hour up here, and apart from a couple of knocks and taps on the helicopter rig, which I've pretty much placed in the dive back. Back that one. Well, that's irritating. I actually switched this rod over to a couple of grains of corn instead of the little kind of yellow wafter dumbbells that I've been using. Mainly because I wondered if the bait was too big and the fish weren't picking it up. But that felt like that should have been fish. So my 10-minute alarm has just gone off. Maybe another chuck with this rod. The only thing is I'm getting absolutely no signs at all of anything on the feeder rod. So I'm definitely not convinced that there's a lot of fish up in this area, and realistically if they're going to shoal up, that's when you're going to catch them. So yeah, a bit frustrating that to have lost one, especially as I was just doing the piece on camera. Yeah, I'm in 2 minds now. I baited up the spot that I was fishing earlier on. Not massively heavy, but you know, enough to kind of draw fish into the area if there's any around. So, one last cast. So, it's not been an easy session at all today, but a 3rd move of swims has produced this fella, which is not a bad stamp of fish for this lake. So I'm pretty happy with that. And that's from out of the bowl, using the helicopter setup again, which has done me so well in the past. So yeah, hopefully, you never know, we might have hit the winter feeding spell, and there'll be a few more. I've had one kind of savage knock on the feeder rod, but it's all gone quiet again. So yeah, pretty pleased we've got this fella. So let's get him back. Rod's back out, so you never know, it might rattle off again any time now. Happy days. Seems I've hit a bit of a spell in terms of feeding, albeit teeny tiny. Look at that for a mini carp. That was on the feeder rod. Yeah, while I was playing this other one in, I could see the tip twitching and off it went. So yeah, this one on the feeder and another one. And that's the second one, another nice little common. That was on the helicopter rig. So yeah, I've been trying to be quite strict with myself today. I've been setting a timer on my phone for 10 minutes, and the feeder rod I've been casting kind of every 10 minutes, and the bottom bait rod I've been leaving for 20 minutes. And that seems to be making a bit of a difference. I'm beginning to see a bit of a pattern forming in terms of when I'm getting knocks and taps and bites. So yeah, let's get this fella slipped back. The rods are back out. And I'm just going to watch him like a hawk, see if there's any more signs of bites. Yeah, fingers crossed, we have hit the winter feeding spell. Happy days. So there's a couple of things I've been doing in this session and the previous two in an effort to kind of keep the bites coming, because there's been definite patterns. So yeah, the first one is I've always got a rig ready tied, ready to go, baited up with a PVA stick on it, ready to chuck on that helicopter rig rod. So if that goes, the moment the fish is in the net, unclip that, the current rig, put this one on, wallop it back on the same spot. The fish are generally shoaled up in winter, and actually the same applies in summer, to be honest. Chances are if you get one bite, you're going to get another, hopefully fairly quickly on the same spot. So yeah, that's ready to go. The other thing that I did when I arrived was put one of these rigs in a bait tub of water and just let it dissolve, and I timed it. And I found that it took about 10 minutes for the bag to actually dissolve, and it took another 5 minutes, so a quarter of an hour in total, for the whole thing to kind of melt into a little pile, condensed pile of bait in the bottom of the tub. Now obviously out in the lake, it's not very deep here, so the water's not going to be that much colder moving down through the water column, but you are going to have tow. And what I found every session here, this wind blows down to this end of the lake, so the bigger bowl end of the lake. So you're going to have kind of, you know, water moving around that bait, but generally a quarter of an hour. And what I've been doing to actually kind of prove or disprove whether that makes a difference is I set a timer on my phone for 10 minutes. Now the feeder rod I've been chucking out every 10 minutes. The helicopter rig rod I've been putting out every 20 minutes. If I haven't had a bite after 20 minutes and I haven't seen anything to indicate that there's fish in the area, then I'll probably move it. Now that might literally be a metre, 2 metres to where I've been casting, or it might be a completely different spot. But that does seem to make a difference. I think the fish back off a baited spot once one's been caught and there's been a bit of commotion in the swim. And yeah, certainly with the feeder rods, any bait that's gone out has dispersed if a fish has come over it. So if I've seen a knock or a tap on the rod tip, chances are the fish has come down over the bait, it's moved it all around and it's dispersed. Now in the sticks and the feeder I'm using liquidized bread, which is brilliant any time of year, but in winter it's really, really good. It's slightly visual because it's white, but I've mixed it in with brown crumb and I've mixed it in with a little bit of wetted down ground bait. So it's not startling white, but it's, you know, it's enough that it's a visual. Also I'm fishing yellow hook baits over the top, so I'm either using sweet corn or these little kind of pineapple dumbbells. Into the bread for the PVA sticks and the feeder I'm mixing in a mixture of wetted pellets and dry pellets and sweet corn. And for each cast that I'm doing, I'm firing a pouch full of sweet corn pellets over the top. Now the thing there is, it's a very small match style catapult. So really we're talking, you know, a pinch of sweet corn and a pinch of pellets. It's not a great deal of bait because obviously this time of year you don't want to fill them up. But I'm finding that's enough to kind of build the swim and keep the fish coming back in. Now it's been particularly tough today, and although I just kind of had those 3 fish in relatively quick succession, it's now died and I'm not getting any knocks indications or anything on either of the rods. So my timer for 10 minutes is probably nearly up, so I'm going to have another chock on the feeder rod, but I'm going to move 1 metre left of where I last got that fish. Bottom bait rod with a helicopter I'm going to leave for another 10 minutes. If I get no signs on that, then I'm switching that to where I had my last cast on the previous session. It's just off the edge of the dyed back lily pads, and I found that alternating between those two spots, so out in the bowl or next to the lily pads, seemed to produce bites. So yeah, fingers crossed there's a couple of more fish today. I wouldn't mind some more. It's been a tough going day. But yeah, let's sort these rods out, see if we can nick another bite. It's still proving difficult, but I am sticking with it. This little fella just fell to the feeder rod at a new spot, and I've been moving the helicopter rig around, but I'm really not seeing any signs of fish. The only thing that I have seen is a couple of fish chasing a couple of bits of bread. I tried to use a couple of discs of bread on the feeder rod just to see if that would trigger a bite, but nothing came of it, and what I realised is that they'd floated up to the top, and yeah, there's been a carp chasing them across the lake. Must be a tiny one. Yeah, I'm toying with the idea of giving the other side a go and just fishing these lily pads. Pretty much the same spots, but from the other side. You know, change of scenery, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, let's get this teeny tiny fella back. I'll give it another 10 minutes and then yeah, I think I might have a move. Well, I decided to come around to peg 7 on the other side of a lake. It's amazing how different it is over here. It's really windy, the wind's blowing right down into my face. The sun's come out and it's on the water. It's like a completely different lake over here. I'm not entirely convinced the fish are going to be here. I'm effectively fishing the other side of the spots that I was fishing earlier. My thinking being that as the lines are coming in from a different angle, then maybe that'll get me a pickup. But it's nigh on impossible to tell if I'm getting bites on the feeder rod. So I think what I'm going to do, looking right up the lake towards the kind of out of bounds area, there's a big flat area of calm, and I think I'm going to head up there. Maybe the fish is just out of the wind. But yeah, 10 minutes here, see if we get a pickup, and if not, I'm going to head up there for the last kind of half hour or so. Fingers crossed. True to form, got the bag packed down, it's just about to pick up the rods to move, feeder rod tip goes round, this little fella's on the end, just sorting him out and the camera out, and the bottom boat, the helicopter rig went as well. So there's definitely fish here I suppose, but it's bloody freezing on this side of a lake, so yeah, if I don't get any signs in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to have a shift up to the far end, because it is definitely a lot more sheltered up there. Yeah, another little common to add to the tally. Nothing too big today, but it's been a lot of fun. So let's get this fella back, think about a move. How's about that one? Another move, another fish. Amazing. So again, back out towards the lily pads, cast with the helicopter rig. And yeah, been out 10 minutes and away it rattled. Pretty pleased with that, not bad at all, and I've literally just had another run on it that must have been an aborted pickup, so I've actually got another bag tied up, so I'm going to sort that out. But yeah, I think I'm going to use this fella to do my outro vlog. I've had a really good day, it's been hard fishing today, a lot harder than the previous sessions. But I've really enjoyed it. I've really had to work at it, which, yeah, it's been good fun. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hit the like button if you did like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Fingers crossed I'm going to get another pike session in before the end of the season. But yeah, good day's fishing. And you never know, I've got about another half an hour left. I might get another one on the bank. Happy days.